And welcome everyone to another exciting adventure on Riding Through the Unknown. I'm your host, Michael, and just so you all are aware, my computer at the last minute decided the camera's not going to work, the microphone's not going to work, and I had to reboot the system 7 times to update, so fingers crossed it doesn't do it again. With that being said, I am blessed and honored to have a returning guest today who really needs no introduction, but I'll allow it anyway because that's just who I am.
Okay.
And I am blessed to be returning not as a speaker, but as in a different function in an upcoming conference with her. So I am going to take a moment to chill and I'm going to turn it over to the one, the only, the amazing dragon extraordinaire, Gina Virginia Casella.
Thank you, Michael, for that. Hi, Dragon Dreamers. Gina Virginia Casella here, and there's always so much to share and look forward to. Last time we were chatting was for the conference Promise of Spring, where Michael was one of our phenomenal dragon presenters, presenting on the hero's journey. And like Michael already told you, he's going to be helping out with technology and whatnot. So he even wanted to be a backup presenter just in case. And I was like, okay, I'll keep you in mind because there's actually, if anybody out there listening is interested in being a dragon presenter, I'm in the process of plugging in dragon speakers for this September. Okay, so if you're like me and you like to plan in advance, reach out now. So my name is Gina Virginia Casella. I'm a spiritual biz entrepreneur. I have a little video here to play for you. But I want you to know that I do all kinds of things. In my old matrix, I was a public school teacher. And my new matrix, I really love talking about spirituality, dreams, the paranormal. And one thing I came to realize is the paranormal is very normal. The supernatural is very natural, and there's absolutely nothing strange about high strangeness other than the fact that we think it's strange. I became a hypnotherapist, rapid transformational therapist, hypnotherapist, trained by one of the best, Marissa Peer. And I really am excited to share with you all kinds of things about rules of the mind and mind reprogramming. My own journey, my questing of my hero's journey, it led me down quite the rabbit hole where I've been confronting my own dream world, which is bridging together. And it's full of excitement. And you know what else? It's full of fear because there's so much unknown out there. And so to make a long story short, I became a master energy medicine practitioner trained by the Four Winds. And I hold this training really close to my heart because it's helped me with the combination of hypnotherapy training to resonate in my feelings, to really honor the fact that how we think and feel matters so much that it impacts us on a biological level. It's not just, wishy-washy information, nonchalant. Like, you know what? The smallest person really can make a difference, and you really can reclaim your life. I know exactly what it's like to be stagnant with false inhibiting beliefs, feeling like I'm not enough, like things aren't available to me, like there's something wrong or different about me. And lots of long story shorts here. When it came to my mental health and wellness, when I was in grade two angels came out of my wall. Were they angels? No, I don't think they were. But that was my mind doing its number one job, you see, protecting me and telling me a story. We tell ourselves stories all the time. Who the hell were those folks that came out of my wall? I have no idea to this day. But it's only recently I can talk about it without crying or getting the shivers, my teeth chattering. And my teeth don't chatter and I don't get the shivers because I'm cold. It's because it's the truth. And that truth for a long time has been denied. And when I think about the stigmas of mental health, like back when I was in grade two and when that happened, my vision flip-flopped, my hearing flip-flopped. It didn't help my situation. It made me look like a liar. So another very long story short, life goes on and I have a severe panic attack. And it took me right back to when I was in grade two and facing those stigmas of mental health where people didn't believe me. And nobody said to me, oh, we don't believe you. Well, what else are you saying to me? And now that I know what I know now about how important feelings are, it just rips my heart to pieces, that little girl. So whenever I'm speaking about story species, story medicine, in truth, it's a message from the age 7 Gina. In truth, it's the age 4 Gina, the age 14 Gina. And I write about this in my book series, the Dragon Dreams book series. There's 8 books published. I still have lots more to publish, and the downloads just keep coming. So I'm hosting conferences now. The last one, Promise of Spring, was a huge success. We had phenomenal speakers. The speakers, they were very deliberate and intentional with their presentations, very focused. We had a schedule. We had plans in case we had, technology hiccups. And ultimately, that led to a successful day. And we attracted a lot of Dragon Dreamers because of Promise of Spring. So a big dragon welcome to new Dragon Dreamers, if that applies to you right now. And thank you to those who've been following me because it's been a handful of years now. So there's always so much to say, right? And where I'm at right now is the public school teacher in me, I guess, carrying forward those high quality items. What am I doing with my life? How can I focus on community? And the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective for me is where it's at right now. We are your soul tribe and we have awaited you. It is not a coincidence that you're tuning into this show right now. You need to hear this stuff. And it's okay if you feel awkward and uncomfortable. It's okay if you feel scared because you're like, oh my God, that girl knows what I'm talking about, or it's so refreshing. You're not losing your mind. You're not going crazy. And these conversations are very important because I always think about the Salem witch trials. That really didn't happen that long ago in history. And I've had a number of people, I'm kind of tired of it now, to be honest, but I get it. I really do. I get it. I've had a number of people tell me, Gina, I love you. I support you, but I'm never going to join your Facebook group. I'm never going to like anything that you do. I'm not going to share or comment because you know what? I've got kids to feed. I got to make sure I can pay my bills. And so, isn't that interesting that people don't feel comfortable who even know me personally because they're worried about how knowing me personally? Because when I was in my teaching career, I was very thriving and we didn't talk about spiritualism, right? It was public education. But now I talk about spiritualism all the time. Angels, ETs, interesting dreams, our greater oneness, the ET agenda. Of course, through my dreams half remembered and half misunderstood. But the point is, why do we have to keep tiptoeing around things? Because fear based decision making. And so these conferences, it's a really big title. It's called The Story Species, Story Medicine, the Conscious Evolution Continuum of Conference Series. We just call it this series for short, right? And I always tell Michael, like, what the hell other conference would we be talking about? So there's 4 online every year. There's Promise of Spring. That's going to happen every March, and it's free, and it's always going to be free. And in my book series, it's predicted that that one's going to eventually generate the most money, even though it's free, because people just want to support. They want to get in on the hype, you know? And speaking of support, Michael is supporting, helping out behind the scenes with technology. You know, I'm providing him an energy exchange just to show appreciation, really. It's from the heart. Laura Ferguson, Starseed Lolo, she recently produced an entire song in honor of the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective, in addition to an intro outro video for Story Species, Story Medicine, Extra Strength. So we were just celebrating that yesterday. And this is what I'm talking about. People who are coming together because they feel the pull energy and they know that Soul Tribe is unfolding. We get you. You don't have to explain yourself or feel weird around us. We get it. We get it. The ghosties, the spirits, those bumps in the nights, things that you can't even explain. And that's what the conference is all about. So, yeah, there's Promise of Spring to look forward to every year. The rest of them you have to pay for. They're very affordable, and I insist on that. It needs to be something that everybody can attend. So the next one is called Summer Daze. That's happening June 13th. We've got another one in September. I just have to use my cheat sheet here. September 19th, if you wanted to plan ahead, is going to be Falling Consciously. And then we've got a 4th online conference called Season of Dreams happening December 12th. And it is not a coincidence, it's very well intended. These happen in alignment with the winter solstice, summer solstice, and the fall spring equinox. So I'm hopeful to have an in-person Dragon Destiny in the summertime. My cat Rosie and I, we may or may not be moving this month, next month is kind of up in the air. But this is what it's all about, and the humility that comes with it as our process unfolds. So this is all part of an umbrella term called Project 30, Isis Unity Consciousness. And what that is it's an umbrella term for all of my content coming together. My books, my services, being on Michael's show, writing to the unknown, chit-chatting with you, all of that is bridging together. And so the conferences are part of that. And you're very much lovingly invited to come dream with us. I dare you to dream. I dare you to be you. I dare you to be the best version of you. And I dare you to dream the most amazing dreams possible, because we don't even know the amazing dreams that we can dream until they start unfolding. And we have the power through creativity and play, crossed with imagination. We are a powerful force. Hi, Amanda. I see you there in the chat. So I don't know if, Michael, you wanted to say something, or maybe now's a good time to play my little promo video. It's about a minute or two long.
Well, I wanted to say about the conference that I've feel made, draw people in, is it's not limited to certain topics. You actually were in the spring brought in topics I know from talking with you, you have very little knowledge behind, but a curiosity to it. And so you still brought it, and you found, and you gave people a place to share their experience. And so that's the beauty of this conference, is it's not Gina's conference. It's everyone's conference, because you bring a load of topics, not just, oh, well, because it's spring, we're going to focus on this and do your presentation around this. You gave us all freedom to pick our own topics and was like, yeah, and you helped every one of us through the process of creating the slideshow, creating a presentation, creating a backup. And I love that you did the backup because I was telling everyone as I was talking about the conference in March, going, how many times do you go to a conference and you're told you have an hour to speak, there's technical difficulties, and the entire conference gets pushed back and delayed because they're trying to fix this to give the speaker their time. And Gina, in her wisdom, I don't know through experience or how it came about, goes, bring us a presentation. And if you have technical issues, we'll just play your presentation so you still get the same time slot and the conference runs on time. So there was no, oh, we have to wait 5 minutes so this presentation can appear on the screen. No. And I think that was brilliant that you thought enough ahead so that everybody was, if they wanted to watch, say, someone at 9:20, they could turn it on at 9:20 and that person is starting. There wasn't a, oh, this person's finishing. Well, how long do I have? Or where's the person I wanted to hear? So I thought that was a brilliant strategy in advance, knowing that this is possible.
Yes, thank you for saying all of that. It's definitely a high quality item coming from my teaching career. Kindergarten planning, welcome to K, Christmas concerts, knowing, a lot of the parents only have like their quick lunch break to come in and out and that kind of stuff. And if you can plan with intention, it really makes for a smooth day. Hi, Amber. I see you there in the chat. Good to see you. And I just can't help but laughing as Michael's chatting away because I told the presenters, like, you know what, you don't have an hour. There's an hour block, and then you have 35 minutes, and that's it. Because the rest of that hour is like me introducing you, me thanking you, taking some Q's and A's from the audience. Then there was like a little FYI information share out before the break, and then just a few minutes of some backup time. Hey, an hour's already gone, right? And we also had a 20-minute break in between each speaker, which we're going to do again because it's an online conference, right? So we don't need to take an hour or two lunch break. Just time to get up, stretch, do your business, get a fresh glass of water or whatever. And there's going to be little minios. There's going to be little videos playing. Last time I did gemstone readings. I didn't do gemstone readings, but I just shared gemstone insight, like what does it mean when the gemstones fall here and there. And so I'm looking forward to creating another 6 videos. I also couldn't help but laugh when Michael was chatting because I told the presenters, you only have 35 minutes. And some of them were like, oh, yeah, whatever, 35 minutes. But as the conference approached, they were like, wait a minute, I only have 35 minutes. And it's like, yes. And then Michael was one of the dragon speakers that wanted to talk all day long. And I had to be like, no, Michael, you only get 35 minutes. He's like, but what about if my story starts taking longer? Because I want to tell this story and that story. And I had to really crack down. Like I had to put my administrator hat on and tell Michael no, because like what happens to the presenter after you? What happens if the presenter before you? And so, I mean, we always have phenomenal stories to share, right? But that's the thing. There's always a need to be a returning guest for the continuum of conscious evolution. And that word continuum was very important to have in the title. So if presenters start going into overtime, I just appear magically on the screen. That's the visual cue, and then they start wrapping it up. But having the video in advance provided to me really turned a lot of people off. They just wanted to show up And you know what? I respect that. It's not that I didn't trust that people weren't going to be ready. It's like Michael said, what if we have tech issues? We're going live, right? Even though Promise of Spring was free, the other ones you have to pay money for. Well, I don't want to attend a conference that's not really planned out and now somebody's randomly telling an interesting story. So there's power to simplicity, power to sticking to the script, and it makes for a nice flowing day. And I don't know about you, Michael, but I find I always have way too much to say. And when I know I only have 35 minutes, really, you got to backtrack that to like a 25, 30-minute max presentation because you need time to breathe, right? And it's just it really makes me happy. Like I got a lot of compliments about the Dragon presenters. Rick Gallagher presented us with some music with the singing bowls, and but most of the compliments are about the overall day and just how it flowed. And a lot of folks were commenting because it was literally like a 10-hour day that people weren't getting tired. They were feeling pumped up the whole entire time. They felt that member engagement. And some of our Dragon speakers, they have a bit of a lifestyle. They're kind of popular. And so having that schedule was really important. I know, like Brian Rue and Alex Lipton, they had other commitments on that same day. So if I could, ensure that they were going to have a designated start time, they could take care of their other business and then just like half an hour before come and join us, which is exactly what they did. So it really worked out beautifully. It really, really did. And I thank you for saying all those comments. So let's play my
One,
little video. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say real quick too is I know a few speakers watched the entire conference, so and Anchor Haven did a really good job moderating, and so it was kind of fun because I had planned on stepping away once I was done because I was first or second in the morning, and so I was like, okay, I can step away, but I found myself sitting in the chat room and like commenting and like paying it, listening, and only taking like a break to get something to eat and come back. And I was like, to me, that's a testament of the speakers drew me in so much that I changed my entire day plan of yeah, I don't have to be here, so it's not a big deal if I disappear and let everybody else have their time, and then being like, "Oh wait, what are they talking about? Oh, hey." And talking in the chat room, and I think that's something that I think the people like is when speakers are, participating even behind the scenes in the chat room and, you know, being respectful and keeping the topics into the conference, and we're not in there going, "Oh, hey, Anchor Haven, what are you doing for lunch?" Like normally happens. It's like all the comments were geared towards paying attention to everything.
Yes, that was a lot of fun. Like there was the public chat, and then there was the behind the scenes private chat, and other speakers too, like Suze Gallagher. After her presentation, she just stayed with us, hanging out there, really taking in the whole day. And to me, that's what community is all about. And it's just like any event or business meeting. When it's over and people just like hightail it out of there. Okay, some people, they have to go places, they have commitments, right? But when people don't have to go places and they desire to linger, to stick around, for me, that's the real magic. And that's what the community is all about, is being there and bearing witness to each other. Even if you don't say anything, just being there really helps. And yeah, Julia is really great. She's going to be a 2-in-1. I have a little slideshow to show you there, but Julia Anchorhaven, she's going to be a Dragon speaker and she's going to be one of our Dragon monitors. So I told her, I'm like, don't worry about monitoring because speaking is already enough, right? And she's like, no, I want to monitor. So I'm like, fine. so, but that's what I mean. She does it because it's in her nature, you know? So that's what I'm talking about, soul tribe and community
Yeah.
connections,
And
right?
I'll
Doing
be
it because
monitoring. Yeah, and
and
I'll be
you'll
the
be
monitor.
monitoring this one too, yes. And Jason H. Well, on that note, let me play the video
Yes.
because it'll just kind of update people on this umbrella term. And if you feel confused, perfect, because I work with duality. I don't want to be honest. It's just part of my journey. But like I've come to accept it that duality is very much in my face. It presents in my gemstone readings. And so being confused is actually a sign that you're on the right track. Okay. So it's like, yeah. So I hope this video that I play gives you a better understanding of what I'm talking about for Project 30 ISIS Unity Consciousness. And so I'll just play that right now for you.
Hey Dragon Dreamers, Gina Virginia Casella here, and the one behind the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective. Come dream with us. Your soul tribe awaits you. I do all kinds of things, gemstone readings, mind reprogramming, energy medicine. At this time in my life, I've been redirected by Source to bring us together. The Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective through an umbrella term called Project 30, ISIS Unity Consciousness. You're invited to dream with us. Through dreams half remembered and half misunderstood, we fill in the gaps for each other because we're all one. There's all kinds of times and dates lined up that I would absolutely adore for you to be a part of. One of my favorite things to do is to assert that the Akashic records are not a permanent record because your past never defines you. And we can do what's called living consciously so we can die consciously. United are we. Be free. Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective awaits you. Dream with us. My name is Gina Virginia Casella, creator and visionary of Project 30 ISIS Unity Consciousness. See you in dreams.
Uh,
Come dream with us. Your soul tribe awaits you. The Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective. We're here and we get you. I'm going to put it on screen share now. My fancy PowerPoint is too large. But for what it's worth, I know how to screen share and I feel excited now. Those of you who follow me, it was fun catching you the other day. So I'm going to share the entire screen. Oh, maybe I need permission.
uh, you should be able to screen just the same way.
Okay, hold on. Okay, we were having some tech issues earlier, but this should work.
Let me
Okay.
check.
Share screen was canceled. Make sure you click share. Okay, I did that. Okay, share screen. Okay, here we go again.
You may have to pick the window.
Okay, I think it might be
There
working.
we go.
Okay, woohoo! Can you see my desktop?
We did, and then it went to a gray screen.
Okay, do you see my PowerPoint presentation?
No, we just see a gray, whitish white wall. Now we see
Um,
your computer.
okay. Um,
It may be you. So what I found with PowerPoint, you have to
yep,
have the PowerPoint open
yep.
as its own window, and then you go to it and you have to manually run it through PowerPoint. And so it's like you're virtually, so you
Oh,
won't see what's here. You'll see, there it is.
can you see it? Okay, woohoo! Okay, we never gave up hope. Okay, thank you for that. And I like StreamYard, but sometimes there I'm like, just when I thought I had it figured out. Okay, thank you for your patience, everybody. I'm just going to, uh, okay. All right, can you see this okay?
We can.
All right. So, Project 30 ISIS Unity Consciousness. My intention is just to kind of slide through these slides. And then I got some other stuff on my internet ready to show you. So, this is all through dreams, half remembered, half misunderstood. And you're invited. This is how we're uniting our community co dreaming ecosystem, the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective. Like I mentioned, all of my content is merging together. My services that I offer, the private membership, there's my books, the Oracle, my show that I host, Story Species, Story Medicine, Extra Strength. And the Dragon Dreams movie series is now in effect. So at this time, Jason H., also known as Missing Time 420, is collaborating with me to make my first two movies. And so a big thank you to Jason H. for daring to dream with us. And we are so deeply honored for Jason's efforts in helping to manifest the Dragon Dreams movie series. I overwhelmed Jason. I'm realizing I tend to do that to people, but you know what? It's people who are hungry for this, right? And so Jason was all excited. He's like, I'm going to head to the library and print out Lushing. And so we're each going to have like our own copy. And we've been chatting, making notes about like how to organize the storyboard. And we're going to be using Starseed Lolo's music. We have her permission. So I'll just keep scrolling here. Like I mentioned, this is based on my show. And I'm a really firm believer that we are a story species. We thrive on ceremony, rite of passage. When we give and receive stories, we give and receive medicine. And I do have a belief that each and every single one of us is a mama, Pachamama, Mother Earth in her own right. Walking, talking trees we are, beaver dams we are. So we're very much part of the filtering and alchemy of Earth. We are Earth, the elementals. And one of the best ways to heal is with the Earth. And so that's exactly what we do with each other on Story Species, Story Medicine, Extra Strength. And now with the conference series, it's really escalating this medicine. So we have a monthly dream ecosystem to look forward to. Tuesdays I go live. Wednesdays I'm hanging out. Seasonally there's the conferences. You can book your private memberships with me. There's dates here about the other conferences to look forward to. So I made a special video. A big thank you to this folks like Michael, the Dragon speakers, and Dragon monitors like Julia and Jason H., who helped to make Promise of Spring such a success because it helped to set precedents for this conference. And I greatly appreciate that. These are the speakers from the last conference. So you had myself, yours truly, Gina Virginia Casella, and I told my story about finding the gemstones, the Gnome King. We had Michael, Brian Rue, Chris Latour, Alex Lipton, Suze Gallagher, and you can find the replay on my YouTube channel, which I'll show you at some other point. So Summer Daze, that's the one coming up. This is our phenomenal lineup here. Laura Ferguson, Sheila Spiral, Sister Murray, Julia Anchorhaven, Soma, Ara, Slavka, the natural sentient, Missy, Hill, and everybody has something unique that they're going to say. We've also got Julia, as I mentioned, as a dragon monitor and helping out behind the scenes with technology and assistance. There's Michael again, and of course, Jason H. Laura, she's going to be our featured speaker. Initially, Laura was the keynote speaker, but because she's contributing so much, her music allowing me to use it, going the extra mile, creating an intro outro song for us. She's going to be a speaker, and she's going to be providing us with some tuning for meditation healing. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I had to say to her, like, Laura, a keynote speaker isn't doing you justice here. So you need to be like a special guest. And then I thought about it. A special guest, that just didn't sound important enough. So we've got a featured speaker, Laura Ferguson, also known as Starseed Lolo, because of the music that she plays and whatnot. And Sheila, Spiral Sister Murray, is going to be our keynote speaker. So it really worked out. And there's Julia. This here, this is what their presentations are called. And I'm really looking forward to this. It was fun to make all these slides. It was quite the task for Promise of Spring, but now I've got the hang of it. And a lot of people, they see Jason H in the chat, but they don't know who he is or what he looks like. And so I feel really privileged that I actually got a photo of his face. You know, he's wearing sunglasses, but whatever. So there's the schedule. Starts at 9 a.m. You can investigate more which time your favorite speaker is presenting at, or you can virtual doors open at 8:30. Come hang out with me. We're going to hang out the day before and the day after too, just for some pre-conference chit chat, post-conference reflections. That was really good last year. I'm looking forward to the opening ceremony. I always delight in that kind of stuff. If you have a candle, bring it with you. Going to invite everybody to light their candles at the same time. If you don't have a candle, don't worry about it. My candle always represents one for the collective. And this one here is a really exciting slide. This is a new slide, and I'm excited because eventually Jason and I will have like some kind of thumbnail created for the cover of the first two movies. So that's it for that presentation. And just, wow, really can't say enough. And it's just amazing from my perspective, scrolling through it all and sharing with you. So what I want to do now is just quickly show you the Buy Me a Coffee. All right. Screen share. Okay, can you see the screen okay for Buy Me a Coffee?
Yes.
All right, so this is my Buy Me a Coffee. It's absolutely free to follow me. If you want to send me money, please do. But I want you to know it's free to follow me. So if you want to get in on the hype and stay connected, you just follow me on Buy Me a Coffee. It's one of the best ways. You can join my memberships and learn about them. But the focus for today is on the conference. And so if you go to post, you will notice I post on here almost every day. And now is the time where I'm posting regularly about our Dragon speakers. And so you'll find Laura Ferguson in particular highlighted multiple times because huge news with the release of the Dragon song. And today, a very important post went out because it honored everybody. So this was the one. And if you scroll down, you can see all the images, which are just repeat images that I showed you. But there it is on Buy Me a Coffee. So you can investigate a bit more. And I even included special messages. You can see Soma's here. We are not alone. We have never been alone. We do not come from Earth. We come from the ancient aliens. We are the Pleiadians. We are the children of light. We are the star seeds. And so the presenters were really open to providing some kind of special message about hopes and dreams. And everybody has their own little unique touch. So if you want to get in on the conference hype, that's one way to do it. If you want to purchase a ticket, I'll show you how to do that. Again, you just go to my Buy Me a Coffee, go to shop, and it's the only thing right now. So if you want to get in on a membership, you go to membership. But if it's other stuff, then it's under the shop. So you just click on shop. This is $40 Canadian, by the way, very affordable for a full day conference. So I've got a wonderful lineup. You can read all the information here. Just reiterates how phenomenal Promise of Spring was. There's links there that you can click on. But this is what I want to show you, the pictures. I know when I'm looking for information, I tend to associate the pictures. Like, is this the same thing here? So Laura and Jason getting a little extra special attention because of their contributions here. And I'll have to add another slide there of Jason. What else do I want to show you? I want to show you, I think I got to change the screen share because you can't see what I'm showing you right now, I don't think. Nope, you can't. Okay. So that's the thing with screen share, you can only share like one tab at a time, right?
Right.
So, okay, I'm almost done screen sharing. And what a thrill to screen share. Before I just couldn't seem to do it. Another place I want to draw your attention to is the free Facebook group, the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective. It's absolutely free. This is where you can connect with other Dragon Dreamers. I cross-post things from here from my Buy Me a Coffee. And it's just a really lovely community. You're all lovingly invited to join to get in on that. And then I've got 2 tabs I want to show you. And thank you so much for letting me take this time to show you. The Currency of the Heart playlist. So when I was advertising myself on Facebook and stuff like that, there's songs that you can pick and choose from, right? And so I thought, well, how can I honor these artists? And so I created a playlist on Spotify and YouTube called The Currency of the Heart Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective. Spotify playlist, DDSTC, Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective, another acronym there for you. And you can find right here the first 4 songs, all by Starseed Lolo, Villainized. I don't even think that's on Spotify yet, so you definitely want to get in on this. There's already 196 views. This one here, Dark Night of the Soul, that's the song that I'm allowed to use for the movies. This other one is an intro song that you can watch for Story Species, Story Medicine. I just love it, and it's getting a lot of compliments. And the Dragon song, I also love this one here. I love the dreamy guitar, and I have special permission too from Starseed Lolo to use that for one of my movies. So Jason and I are making 2 mini movies. They're going to be about 4 or 5 minutes long, but you can come here and find all the music. And if anybody out there listening plays music, or maybe you dance and you want to showcase your talent, Pretty Please with Sugar on top, get in touch with me, because you very well could be showcased on the Currency of the Heart Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective playlist. And it would be a really great opportunity, not just for you, but for us as a community to bond a little bit closer, like I met Laura through Michael, right? And so it was nice to bring it home like that. And to me, it's just nice when it's within the community. So I got one more screen share to show you here. And there's always too much to say, right? So, okay, I think I'm sharing. All right, so I've got lots of playlists. So just to help keep you organized, there's this other one, the conferences. So all the conferences, you can find them here. And the ones that you have to pay for, eventually they'll be added to this list. But in the meantime, you can enjoy Promise of Spring. I made it a point to put the full 10-hour video, and then all these other videos, I broke it up. And you can purchase the replay of Promise of Spring. But you know what? If you join the collective membership, ISIS Unity Consciousness, then it actually defaults you to receiving a free link to the online conferences. So it's the best deal to get And I'm really looking forward to it. It's really important to me to build safer spaces for the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective to speak freely and openly, sharing their story medicine. And it was really important for me that the Dragon team, the presenters and monitors alike, show their faces, not some animated picture that kind of looks like them, uh, because I want people to know, like, these are real biological 3D folks just like myself who are going through these same motions, very natural, very normal, and that you do have a soul tribe. So thank you so much for letting me show you that. If anybody has any questions out there about the conference, I'd be happy to answer them. And at some point, I'm going to pull 3 cards for the collective. But before I do that, any other thoughts, Michael? Or
Well, one thought I will share is the respect that the speakers had in the first conference, and that, like, I could go and pull my conference presentation off and upload it to my channels. And I could take other ones, but I was like, no, those aren't my presentations. I'm just going to share mine, which I got permission from Gina to do. And I think that is something that I think is special and unique that presenters can do if they have channels of sharing the conference. Yes, this is my presentation, but my hope, and I explained to Gina, was, if I share this on my page, maybe and hopefully people will go, well, this is a really cool presentation. What other presentations? And it's got a link to go back to her channel to view the other conference talks. And so that's, something I think speakers, I feel like it's really special when they do that, because a lot of times we all get caught up in trying to build up our own selves and our own channels and everything, and we forget, well, by helping this person, we're helping ourselves, and there needs to be a community effort. And so I just wanted to acknowledge, that as, being a part of the first conference that was free, it was probably easier to share. Now that it's, for the fee to watch, I don't know, that's up to Gina how she's going to work that out with the
yeah, and I got
presenters.
it all figured out. So behind the scenes, because Michael was the first round, we had a conference Bible that was like, I don't know, an easy 50 pages or something like that. Because I didn't have an executive committee, and I still don't. So any ideas I had, I put it in the conference Bible. The conference Bible is about 6 or 7 pages now. And in there, I let the Dragon team know that, yeah, like, we're charging money for this conference, right? So who's going to buy a ticket if the conference is going to be free the next day or whatever, right? And then so you can get the replay. It's going to be an affordable cost, and I'm not even going to provide a link for that until, like, probably the day after the conference, to honor the people who are paying for it. At some point, the conference will be free for everybody. Everything will eventually always be free. But I did let the presenters know that I'm going to be making little video shorts and whatnot. Like, that's going to be my homework following the conference. So the public will see snippets for free. And then the presenters absolutely sharing that on their own social media pages, and me tagging them on Facebook and YouTube. That's where I'm posting. And also, once the conference is available for free, the presenters will be able to do like Michael and share it. So that's the thing, like, I call this situation like a Netflix situation, because I don't want to kid myself. Like a family of 4, they're going to pay for one ticket, right? Or like, you get all your friends together and there's a big group, but only one person paid for the ticket. So I anticipate that. And in truth, in the Dragon Dreams book series, I've never made predictions before. So I'm really throwing it out there and being vulnerable, and I don't care anymore. It's fun because it's actually unfolding. But part of the prediction is that, no offense to me, but the services that I offer, like energy medicine and my gemstone readings, that's actually not going to be available to the public in just a matter of time, because it's these conferences and these story medicine that's going to be putting money in my pocket to pay my bills, because this is what the community sees me as, is this story medicine facilitator, giving space so people can transform from the confused warrior to the wisdom keeper to finally being the medicine bearer. And I was really intimidated by this about a year ago because I didn't understand it, but now it's making sense. And in the Dragon Dreams book series, my services like hypnotherapy, the gemstone readings, energy medicine, it's going to be services that I provide to the dragons who are involved in the conferences. So it's going to be a real special treat, if you will, for me to service anybody. There's going to be so many people who want my services. Well, who am I going to service? I'm going to prioritize the people who are supporting the conference, right? So I'm going to be too busy with that. It's also predicted in the book series that people are going to write songs, and it's already starting. People are going to, on their own, somebody's supposed to create a ballet. There's supposed to be a Dragon Dreams ballet. If anybody out there is thinking ballet, let me know it's you, okay? Because that's a prediction in my book series. And there's another prediction that I already mentioned, that Promise of Spring, the one that's free, will actually at some point in the future generate the most amount of money. And we're just all going to have a laugh at it, like as if the one that's free is going to be the one that generates. And it's because, you know what? A lot of people don't have any money, right? But a lot of people, they have money abundance. And a lot of Dragon Dreamers, they've got so much money just sitting in their bank accounts doing nothing. And they realize we need to shift the energy and start moving it around. So there's a lot of dragons out there who, they're indifferent. And you know what? What's easy for somebody might be really challenging for somebody else. So some Dragon Dreamers, they just start donating big chunks of change here and there because they're just on board with this story medicine. And as long as there's an audience and people who are willing to put in the time and energy, then they're more than happy to pick up that tab, right? So this is really special. And my husband, I don't know who he is yet. If you're out there, now would be a good time. But anyways, my husband in my book series. Okay. I know. Like I said, I'm not, it's pretty open right now. Okay. But like, my husband in my book series, we just have a laugh, because by the time I'm an old lady, it's like, there's commercials and movies coming out about the Dragon Dreams. And it's like, what? I have nothing to do with that, because everybody just, this is like the new classic, if you will, that everybody has a copy. And that's another prediction in my book. There's lots of predictions. Another prediction is that, so in my book series, when I published them, straight up, I was not well. I really genuinely thought I was dying. And I disclose that in my book series. And so if there's one thing I was going to do before I died, it was publish my books. But I felt very insecure, especially because I was a public school teacher, about spelling and grammar and run-on sentences and whatnot. And like my spirit guides really reinforced, don't worry about that, because people are going to love these books so much that they don't even care about that kind of stuff. And at some point, there will be a revised copy where, somebody's going to take the time to brush it up. Why? Just because they want to, because it comes from the heart. And when those revised copies are ready for purchase, they're actually not going to sell, because everyone's going to want the ones that have all the mistakes in them. Because you know what? A lot of people don't read books anymore. There's a lot of audios people are listening to, movies that they watch. So readings become a real art, and there's an energy that comes with that. And people have a belief that they connect more with the energy because they're reading the content that came from me at that time when it was produced. It's like a timestamp. Those books are like a blueprint, if you will. So it's just very exciting. And the content ranges. There's a lot of heartfelt stories. There's funny stories like about my spirit guides trying to find my husband and this and that. And then there's like really serious, uncomfortable stuff. And talks about ET agenda. Jason H. and I, we thought, okay, you know what? What's going to sell? Like we needed to have a business mindset, right? The fluffy, happy stories, we'll get there. But for the first movie, I don't think they're going to sell. We want something that's going to catch the attention. And both Jason and I, we agreed that looshing from book 8 would probably be a good place to start, because looshing is a term that I only heard of about a year ago. And just seems like there's a lot of talk about different kinds of energy vampires. Well, just this morning, I was reviewing the story, and in looshing, it's predicted that looshing is supposed to be the first story that gets attention. And I completely forgot about that. So then this morning, I was like, oh my God, how could I forget? So it's not a coincidence I suggested that to Jason, and I don't think it's a coincidence that Jason, he has a professional background in film and in cinema. So it just, like I said, things are starting to unfold now. And then Laura with the song The Dragon, it's not a coincidence the way it came together. And then even yesterday on my show, Story Species, Story Medicine, it was really cute because in the AI video that she created, I'm wearing a purple dress, and usually the AI changes your clothes, right? Well, it didn't change the purple dress. The AI liked my dress. And so yesterday I wore the purple dress. So it just kind of had like this element of the real world and the dream world bridging, because it is. And then Laura was randomly making connections about the velvet dress and using the word velvet in the lyrics. And so without even being conscious of it, Laura was in sync with all these other themes and all this other business. And to be honest, like looshing is genuinely a terrifying story. I feel uncomfortable about it. It's not a bloody guts kind of story, but it is definitely a concerning one for lots of different reasons. And it really makes you think. And the predation cycle keeps coming up. And the Gnome King talks about that a lot. Like, who are you in the predation cycle? You're just another piece of meat, ultimately. Like, the Gnome King is so kind and whatnot, but then he'll like tell it like it is. And it's like, it's another piece of meat. Oh, okay, great. Like your politics are inconsequential and your religions are inconsequential, because when the ETs come to collect their people meat, they really don't give a hoot what or who you stand for. So, wow, wow. So looshing, you can find my audios on my YouTube. Like I said, there's lots of playlists. So if you're having a campfire or you just, want to listen to an audio for a change, definitely check out my playlist. And there's actually going to be a prequel and a sequel. Like Jason and I have so many movies to make that we're kind of overwhelmed. So I'm excited that Jason's excited at the library printing this out and is like, I'm reading this. This is going to be like my homework today, tomorrow kind of thing, and taking notes. Because like we want to have 3 or 4 movies, but we want to make sure there's quality to it too. And intentionally, I wanted to have like a 45-minute, 90-minute movie. But I think having a 4 or 5-minute mini movie is a nice way just to introduce glimpses of my stories. And then we'll take it from there. So we're probably, no promises, but when you follow me for free on Buy Me a Coffee and hang out with, Michael and I live, you get in on this kind of stuff. So Jason and I, we're probably going to have a mini movie, just like a scope of all my books in Oracle, letting people know this is all coming together in merging Project 30, right? And then the next movie is going to be looshing, but it's going to start off how the story ends. Because how the story ends is like, it just, wow, it makes you uncomfortable and really catches your attention. And then the the prequel, like the second movie is going to be the beginning of Lushing, so you'll get more story. But see, the thing is, Lushing in itself is a short story. It's only like 40 pages, right? But there's stories within the story. So now I want to tell you about Lushing. I don't know how we're doing for time. Do I have time to speak to the story? Maybe a few minutes or.
Well, we're at the hour, but
Oh,
I
okay.
have the afternoon, so you can take as much time as you need.
All right. Woohoo. Yesterday on my show, I had to keep track of the time. So my guest, Laura Ferguson Starcy Lolo, could come on somebody else's show by the name Michael Kopp, posting the writing of the unknown. I'm just like, so on my show, I was like, okay, everybody, if you're having a good time, go join Michael now, I guess. Okay, so Lushing in book 8. Okay, so I'm like this ghosty girl, right? And I'm hanging out with these children. They have absolutely no idea of me because I'm a ghost, right? And I'm about 3 years old, and the children, they're about 3, 5 years old. And there's this older girl, Sophia, and she's babysitting us. Maybe she's an older sister. I'm not exactly clear on that. And she's about like maybe 7 or 9. So I just delight in hanging around with these kids. We play lots of running around the games. Developmentally, it works out. But one day, these random intruders come in, and they're lushers, and they move like the wind. They're so fast. And Sophia is very brave, and she is out of the living room and jumps into the kitchen to stand in front of the children. And the children are like, "No, Sophia, don't come back here." But before you know it, the children are dead. It's so over. And me, I'm just like paralyzed with fear because there's this one really intense guy who's like excited about me. So these are lushers. I don't know what else to call them. Maybe in 40 years, I'll call them something else. But the lushers, they, the one in particular, all of them are confused because they've been experimented on and they're drugged up and stuff like that. And they don't even know their own mind bodies anymore. So this one guy, he's very wowed by me and my courage. But really, it's Sophia that wows him. He can't see me because I'm a ghost. And when Sophia jumped into the kitchen, I jumped to like be with her, but I ended up jumping inside of her body. So now I'm inside of her body. And this Lucier guy, he wants to kill me and he will kill me. And eventually he does, but not without training me first to be this proficient warrior. So he's like trying to kill me, but simultaneously training me at the same time. So Jason and I need to make a movie just on that. So the story goes on, and eventually I die, and I'm sitting on this other Lucer's lap because I guess I'm not dead enough. Like the rigor mortis hasn't set in yet, and you have to be a certain deadness for them to feast on you. I don't really get it. And he's very fascinated by my body. He's like massaging me, and he starts grabbing at my butt. And I think, great, this guy's a pervert, right? But it turns out he's not a pervert. It turns out he's aware of how the body is connected through bones and muscles and tissue. And so when he's squeezing my bones, he's making my hands and my feet move. And this fascinates him. These Luciers, they don't have blood, bones, organs. They don't even know what those things are. But they used to, once upon a time, have that. And it's like a secret. If they ever found out the truth about blood and bones and organs, it would be front page news for sure. Like they like he's just on the cusp of making this connection. So anyways, they're like, boss shows up, and this guy you don't mess around with. He's very blatantly in charge, one of those iconic rude kind of leaders, and the subordinates are terrified. And he ends up backhanding the Lucier that I'm sitting on his lap. I'm inside Sophia's body. And to make a long story short, he says to the guy, like, oh, you're not one of us, basically, because if you were one of us, you would be over here feasting on the children. And the Luciers at one point, like after they killed the children, I thought maybe they were like lovers or something, the way that they started touching each other. No judgment. It was just inferring. This is what I was observing. But what happened was the Luciers, their bodies started to transform into like one big fat blob suit of a body. And the only thing that was distinguished was their heads. And it was very like scary looking. And the children were in the middle. They were dead, so they weren't feeling any pain. And their bodies were kind of like disappearing, dehydrating. That's how they ate them. So so the leader was like, yeah, you need to be over here with us, right? And the guy was saying, he was advocating, like, I'm trying to get there. It's just I'm waiting for this body, you know. And anyways, the leader was like, prove yourself worthy, basically. And so when he backhanded the guy, it almost knocked him right out. And then the guy had a tooth, like a fang tooth, and the tooth was sentient. The tooth was in charge. The tooth was in control. And somehow the tooth was able to like lift up the guy's jaw, like his head, and his like very isolated movement here. And the tooth came out like a big long needle, like a triangular tooth needle, very long, and it just penetrated Sophia. And like a spider, some kind of chemical reaction took place. So the entire insides, her blood and bones, became like a milkshake. And then he sucked it, siphoned it into the tooth. And like, this is like, you know, Sophia, and this is him, and I'm right here. And I have this moment where I'm like, I stop breathing and I back away because I'm like, oh my God, I think he was aware of me, which he was. But he told himself in that moment, oh, that was nothing. But he actually sensed me, and he was right. And earlier in the story, the guy who was trying to kill me while simultaneously training me, at one point he sensed me too, but he denied it. So anyways, Sophia and the kids are all dead. And this guy's now all like energetic and demonic. And off they go to kill more children or whatever. And I'm just standing there, sitting there like, wow, what just happened? And there's no evidence, there's no blood or nothing. What are the parents going to think when they come home? There's a broken vase, there's this special dust. The Grim Reaper appears, of course, to collect the souls. And I start chatting with the Grim Reaper, and we talk about the predation cycle. And wow, does he ever, like, his message is, don't hate the Luciers, don't put them in the bad guy category, because they need to eat, right? So it just, wow. And then just book 8 in itself is a really scary book, because it really humbles us, and we learn, at least me personally on my journey, it really reinforced that the good guy and the bad guy are genuinely the same guy. They really are. And there is no hierarchy. And yet everybody needs to be sustained. So how do we sustain? And then this business of blood and bones, and knowing that the Luciers were in a dimension where there was blood and bones and organs, the very thing that they require. And their leader, according to the Grim Reaper, who's also known as the Cosmic Custodian, at least in my Gina mind in the Dragon Dreams book series, he's very certain that their leader knows about blood and bones, but it would be like such a dream come true. It's like kind of like an old fairy tale, blood and bones, like long ago, blood and bones and organs. And it's like, no, right here, right now in this reality. And so, and the Grim Reaper and I, we laugh, we start laughing, and, you know, and we realize our laughter is feeding off of each other. So it's like, are we Luciers? Was I a Lucier all that time, feeding off the joy of the children? Like it just really got me thinking. And so it just, wow, you know. And I'm noticing Tiffany and Danny in the chat. Hi, Jason. I was just talking about you, missing time 420. So both my vehicles got towed. Oh my goodness. So yeah, looshing. Like we're gonna start with looshing, and there's like, as you can see, a short story has stories within the stories, right? And
Right.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, and that brings up a point that I wanted to say. As we're talking about the conference, we talk about story species, story medicine. And I remember when I first came on the show for my first book, and I was like, wow, this is, she's going to read, part of my book. This is going to sound, be so weird because nobody has ever read it to me because I write it and then I published it. And I was like, this moment's going to be so euphoric because it's like, it's a moment you can't explain. But she then started asking me questions about the book, and I was like, ooh, I haven't thought about that. Hold on. And that is something that I wanted to bring up and share for everyone. As we're talking about these conferences, tune in to the story species, story medicine shows, because Gina does have a gift of picking up on, I almost would say, hidden information within the information. And she'll ask about it. And I even said to her, I don't remember if it was on air or off air, that when we were done, I said, you asked me questions and got me to talk about stuff I had never talked about publicly. So thank you for doing that. And I think that's a gift. And so not only, does she give us the space to promote our books or whoever is on for whatever they've done, but you get deeper insight that you wouldn't get from buying the book and reading it yourself. And so my hope is people are watching that and adding the books to their wish list or buying the books, straight out, and, wanting to read them more. But I just wanted to take a moment and just say, don't forget to tune into those shows because there is a lot of medicine and power in those episodes.
And thank you for saying that. And you've said that in person to me privately, and you've said it publicly too. And I always appreciate it every time you do. And you know what? My whole life it's been happening to me. People tell me things, okay? Like I'm minding my own business as per usual, taking the bus or whatever it is. And sometimes people are even surprised as it comes out of their mouth, and they're like, don't tell anybody you said that, okay? Like they get really worried all of a sudden. I'm like, it's fine, like, and just, you know what? I feel like it's that authenticity and that level of comfort. And yeah, it's really, really great. It's really great. And the medicine, the story medicine is only going to get stronger because it's not a problem, but there's an issue right now with a lot of dragon dreamers who are very hesitant. They're very uncertain because there's not enough role modeling going on of this story medicine. And a lot of the role modeling that's happening right now is a lot of exploitation. People really don't give a crap about the person. They just want to know like the highlights of the story. And by highlights, I mean the blood and gut type stories. They want to know the trauma. And I get it. There's the business piece, like me with my movie making and looshing, right? Like that's what's probably going to sell before the heartfelt stories. But these are real 3D biologicals in this reality who are showcasing their vulnerability. And for me, being certain of your uncertainty, remember I said earlier in the show, working with duality, like this is where it's at, certain of your uncertainty and sharing those extra little pieces of information. And, some people out there, they don't know Michael, right? You see Michael here, you think, okay, he's this public figure. Maybe you'd feel shy around Michael in person, but you know what? Michael's just an everyday guy. And me too. I'm just an everyday person. And sometimes we forget that, right? And so Story Species, Story Medicine, Extra Strength really honors just the raw person, the humanity that we have in all of us. So I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Yeah. I wonder if we have time to pull 3 cards, or I know I've been talking your ear off.
No, let's go down memory lane and pull 3 cards.
Okay.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. Yeah, and Tiffany's commenting, I was, shy to say hi for a long time. Exactly. Like, thank you for saying that, Tiffany. Like, just saying hi in the chat takes like a lot of, for a lot of people, that is stepping into the discomfort zone, and what is not familiar is perceived as dangerous. Something like just saying hi in the chat. So thank you for saying hi in the chat. So I'm going to take it off screen share so you can see the cards. And I don't do readings anymore unless people book an appointment with me or it's some kind of special energy exchange. But I told Michael and anybody else who's hosting me that I will pull 3 cards for the collective. So that's what we're doing now. Just in case you're like, hey, I asked her to pull cards on my show, or or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't ask. This was all on her.
Yeah, and thank you for having me. Okay, so I'm just kind of brain farting it out here. I got to take it off. Screen share. Okay, visual effects, none.
You gotta take it off virtual background. That's what it is.
All right, I think you can see me now, eh?
Yes.
My little bed. Okay, so
background.
I'm just gonna bring this down so you can see the cards. Might see my cat Rosie. So these are always mixed up. Every time I take them out, I mix them up. My dream scarf, sometimes I forget to wear it, but if I remember, I put it on. There's much to be said about it. And if you buy the Dragon Dreams Oracle, there's some blank cards in there for you. Comes with a little booklet. Even myself, sometimes I feel compelled to read from it. And it's like, oh, yeah, there was a special little word in there that the listener needed to hear, So, okay, so I'm going to pull 3 cards. And all the cards that I pull apply to everybody. But before I pull one, pick 1, 2, or 3, because that's going to be the card that extra applies to you. Okay? And I know you can't see my face, just so you can see the cards. All right, so let us know in the chat. I can't see the chat, but let us know if you chose card number 1, 2, or 3. Whoo, they feel very alive. Some of them fell on the floor. So I think just one fell on the floor. Okay, so card number 1. This is a great card. Brain, Heart, Gut Harmony. You see this okay?
When it's lower, we can.
Maybe it's too bright. That okay?
We can see it there.
Okay, so Brain, Heart, Gut Harmony. Maybe I'm just too excited and shaky. There, is that better?
That's better.
Okay, so Brain, Heart, Gut Harmony, if you chose card number 1, and again, this applies to everybody, but it especially applies to those who chose card number 1, was just a reminder about being in harmony. The brain, all of your thoughts, it's like a computer system. This is where everything funnels in, right, into your brain. And then your brain needs to drop the information to your gut so it can process the information and do the filtering. Whatever information is left over, that information goes to your heart. This is a problem for some of you because the heart always wins. And if you're not in harmony with brain gut harmony, you're at risk for telling somebody off who doesn't deserve it. If you're trying to manifest something, you're not in alignment. So just take a step back. This is just reminding you that this is a prerequisite for effective personal manifestation and fundamental transformation. So really reminding yourself that you are a beaver dam in your own right. And when you're in right relationship, you send the whole entire universe a message that you're in right relationship, and then the universe responds. So let us know if you chose card number 1. All right, now I'm going to choose card number 2. Well, right here. This one here. Okay, my eyes were closed. This one is chosen by the feminine water. Lucky Ladybug. Can you see this card okay?
Yes, we can.
All right. So Lucky Ladybug, you know when it's the fall and insects are dying and you don't see them around anymore? To see a ladybug is really special because usually the end of fall, you see a lot of the creepy crawlers like worms and spiders. Now they're always there. It's just that in the fall, the water drowns them out because they like to live in, hang out in the soil. So they don't have a choice but to come out. And because it's the fall, everything's dying. They're more visible, right? But what's really special about ladybugs in the fall is their color red, because the fall, as you know, all the colors start fading, and the color red, usually it's like a rose bush or some kind of rhododendron, and it stands out like a sore thumb. And so does this red, vibrant ladybug. And it's just reminding you that luck is by your side, because in theory, the ladybugs, they should be either deceased or in a state of slumber. But they're not. There they are, buzzing around, even though you just had frost like the day before. So it says here, an exception in one's life, an event that defies normal expectations or timing. So luck is on your side right now. Ladybugs and snow don't match. Know what I'm saying? All right, this one, we'll pull one more. And my pinky wants to choose. Okay, somewhere here. My eyes are closed. There's something here. This one. Oh, so my pinky, the earth. There you go. The wise and well, whale and orca elders. This is not a coincidence, because this morning, like I said, I was reading over Lushing, and the wise and well, whale and orcas come up because whales, as you know, they harmonize. So if you're singing a song, they'll harmonize it for you, helping it make sense and filling in those gaps, really illuminating your desires. And so this is reinforcing that if you're singing a song right now, the wise and well, whale and orca elders, they hear it. But here's a little something to remember. If you're singing a very negative song, right? If you have false inhibiting beliefs and you have negative self-talk, for example, telling yourself things like, oh, I'm stupid. Oh, I'm not going to apply for that job. I wouldn't get it anyways, that kind of stuff. You're at risk for these folks harmonizing that. And this is something that came to me recently. I had no idea. So like the Dragon Dreams Oracle can be quite foreboding and very raw, very, very raw. So this is very special, and there's lots of connections with whales and the moon, harmonizing your song, like I said, but also sharing your song, just like sharing your story, sharing your medicine. And the bottom, what did I write? Guides and guardians in the quest for personal empowerment and harmony with nature. they will sing your song and help you breach situations. So you know how whales breach the water? This is like breaching dimensions, breaching thoughts, penetrating things that you never thought that you could, breaking the ice, all that kind of representation. Shine your light. You know, recently I did a gemstone reading on somebody, and these folks came up, the gemstone, not the card. And this person was feeling a bit shy to shine their light, and I didn't even know that. And when I started talking, they started getting emotional because they're like, that's exactly it. Because they're like this whale that wants to come out of the water, splash, right? But what were they doing? Is it okay for me to, like, no, that's not how whales come out of the water, right? So don't worry about other people judging you and that kind of stuff. And a lot of the dragon dreamers right now, they are not in right relationship with their communities. And that came up in the last collective new moon wisdom reading, actually, because there's an old saying, make new friends, keep the old. Some are silver, some are gold. And that's great, you know, like you got to make new friends. But there's a problem right now, not just with the dragon dreamers, but there's a problem with people who are lacking in authenticity. And then when somebody who is not authentic is hanging around with somebody like you who is authentic, it just shines the light on the fact that they're not authentic, and they make these connections. And a lot of people cling to you and stuff like that because they're trying to work with the positive authenticity energy that you have. But no matter what they do, they're struggling with their own shadow work, so to speak, and authenticity. And there's a lot of dragon dreamers who are having problems with friends who are jealous, friends who are not able to be happy for them, to celebrate their successes. And it's like, well, doesn't that make a friend, somebody who would, you know, celebrate the good news with you with whatever it is you're doing? And so there's a lot of dragon dreamers who are really connecting with the wise and well whale and orca elders. So it's 2026, right? And this card is really like, I was wondering, like, what card's going to be the card for 2026? And I think this is going to be one of the main cards. Last year, 2025, the yellow butterfly card came up all the time. And I feel like this one here, really reiterating being in right relationship. So your friends, they should be happy for you, right? And there's a difference between peers and friends. There's a lot to say about this card, but let us know in the comments. And I see your comment there, Tiffany. Thank you for, and Tiffany's saying, I'm always singing and I work hard with reframing my son's self-talk. Yeah, let your son know about the wise and well whale and orca elders. And if you feel like you need some stronger medicine, the humpback whales, they would be like the next level. And I have a buddy named Hump High, and he's a humpback whale that presents to me 2026. So it's really special. And same with eagle condor. Like if you feel like you need, like on the literal level, eagles fly pretty high, right? The condors fly even higher. So you can work with those metaphors, you know, bringing it up a notch, taking it to a higher medicine condor, but then dialing it back down with eagle, you know. Anyways, I love talking about the Dragon Dreams Oracle. This is all through dreams, half remembered, half misunderstood. And love would absolutely adore for you to join the free Facebook group, the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective. Hi, Sheila Spiral Sister Murray. I was talking about you earlier. That's our keynote speaker right there in the chat. And Sheila was already a guest on my show, Story, Species, Story, Medicine, Extra Strength. So make sure you watch the replay. And Sheila and I were already talking about using Sheila's music in future movies and whatnot too. So like I said, if anybody out there has some kind of talent in some way, shape, or form to showcase, The Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective is a great place for you to showcase your talent and to support our Dragon Dreamer ecosystem of a community, the greater co-dream that we all share. So, and if you visit my website, GinaVirginiaCasella.com, there's a link you can get your very own copy of the Dragon Dreams Oracle, my books. They're available on Kindle as well. And I am looking for a more affordable publisher for the Oracle. If anybody out there knows of one, let me know. And they're a distinguished Oracle. And I wonder if anybody in the chat knows why. So they're distinguished because my menstrual blood is stamped on there, and they're distinguished because as an adult, I drew these pictures, but it was genuinely the age 4 Gina, age 7 Gina, age 14 Gina who are behind all of this, and me, the present day adult Gina, kind of like the secretary helping them out in this dimension to manifest it all. So, and I'm just noticing one of my favorite Oracle cards. This one here. It's called I Don't Do Stupid Anymore. Maybe somebody needed to hear that. We had a 4th card. The intention was 3, but somebody out there is about to do stupid. Don't do it. Don't do it. And all of this is based on my real dreams. I actually made an elixir called I Don't Do Stupid Anymore. And for like a month, I would like drink a little bit and like pray and meditate on it that I don't do stupid anymore. And then when stupid presents in my life, I'm like, no, Gina, remember you made that elixir. And then I was sure to make a Dragon Dreams Oracle out of it. So there's just lots of laughs to have. And it comes in a double tin container. So it's a really great resource to have. Put your Oracle in here. Maybe you have like a tea light and some matches. I would be curious. Maybe you wear gloves like I do. I know a lot of Dragon Dreamers who have tarot and Oracle. They have like special knitted pouches that they use. These are also, they were the best environmentally friendly option. It was called Eco Herbage. So it kind of dimmed the cards, and initially I was like, no way, I'm not going eco herbage if it's going to take away, but it actually really added to the cards unintentionally, making them even more distinguished, because right now this isn't the right lighting, but I usually have it on like a strobe light, so the light's changing colors, and then the very colors in here kind of play with that. And the gold writing, like, you know, on Lord of the Rings, when they toss the ring in the fire and then they take it out and it's glowing, like just for a second, that's what these words do. And this card right here, I mean, on the literal level, this is a glare from my camera flash, right? So when I was editing these, I was cropping it. Hi, Rosie, Dragon Dreamer. I was cropping it so that the flash wasn't showing. But what ended up happening is I got a strong communication all of a sudden to not do that, just to leave it there. And I was like, well, no, I feel like it's sloppy workmanship. And then some of the cards are kind of angled like this. They're not completely straight. That's one of the reasons why. And you like this card, Rosie? So anyways, long story short, these are ghosts and spirits. So when you look at the card, you may or may not notice this right away. And then when you do, for me personally, it just really hit me and added like a whole new element to it. And each card is stamped with my menstrual blood. And so some of them you can see it right away, but some of them you can't see right away. And then when you see that, it just like, whoo, shifts the energy around you. So yeah, they're kind of personal. And you know what? This isn't the kind of deck that everybody's going to have. The books are the kind of thing that everybody's going to have. But whoever purchases the Dragon Dreams Oracle, this is like really special. And I actually I couldn't afford to gift the hard copy, but I did gift Julia Anchorhaven my Dragon Dreams Oracle in the form of PDF. And so I know she's got probably thousands of decks on the go. And I look forward to the day where she starts going through mine, and anybody for that matter who has a copy of my Oracle, if you want to buddy up with me, even doing something like this, I would absolutely delight in it. And whatever you interpret, I stand by that, because that's part of the excitement, is how our other dragon dreamers working with pull energy. You know who you are if you're feeling the pull. It's like a magnet, right? You can very well have these, and then I'm just already delighting in all the hopes and dreams unfolding in my mind. And even receiving an oracle reading from somebody who has this deck. Really looking forward to that. So thank you so much for giving me all that time and for letting me sneak this in. It was nice not to have to rush and go somewhere. So it's already been a couple of hours, actually. I'm looking at the time now. But you know what? That's what happens. You get lost in timelessness. And Sheila Spiral's sister, Murray, is like that too. You know, once we start talking, we don't stop. So.
No, and I'm grateful for the opportunities you provide and all the information that you share out. It's an amazing gift, and it's always a pleasure to have you on. And I know I don't need to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. And that is, from my heart and the heart of my shows to you, thank you for what you're doing for humanity. It's seen, felt, and heard. So thank you.
Thank you for being part of my co-dream and for dreaming with me.
Yes, and I'll just reiterate before we close and go to the outro. June 13th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time is the conference, Summer Daze. So, and I love the titles that you put on conferences.
Yeah.
We went from Promise of Spring to Summer Days, and I can't wait to see how the fall comes into play.
Falling consciously. That's what the fall is called. Falling consciously.
Ooh, that sounds cool. So, have you figured out winter yet?
Yep, season of dreams.
Actually, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then the summer one, no promises, the in-person, no promises, is going to be called Dragon Destiny, because I do feel we're all destined at some point to meet each other in person. And I'm looking forward to all the unfolding, this great unfolding with everyone. The Project 30, Isis Unity Consciousness, the umbrella term.
Yeah, so thank you. And do like, subscribe, and follow along with Gina on Buy Me a Coffee or her YouTube page, or both. Follow my pages, because you never know when Gina's going to pop up and be a guest or come on and promote stuff. And we even have, I'm going to kind of promote this a little bit, in the works. After the conference, some of the speakers that are available, we are going to do a little panel show about the conference after on my station channel. I almost said station. Gina and I were talking about it, and she was like, thought it would be a great idea, and I agreed. And so do follow, and there is so much yet to come. And so keep dreaming, keep the hope alive. And with that, I think it's a good spot to let everyone enjoy the rest of their day.
All right, Dragon Dreamers. See you next time. Thank you for having me, Michael. Take care.
Yes. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.